Hey, I'm Brian LaRosa with LaRosa's Trains on Facebook. Welcome to the first video of my new DCS mode series. In front of me is MTH's digital command system, also known as DCS, consisting of the DCS remote control and this command base called the Track Interface Unit, or TIU. And this system is intended to run MTH engines equipped with DCS, be it a Protosound 2 model or a Protosound 3 model. However, it can also run conventional engines, such as the older MTH engines equipped with Protosound 1, and many other non-command controlled engines. And it can also run Lionel's command-controlled engines equipped with the classic Trainmaster command control system or the new legacy system. Now, I don't have any TMCC or legacy engines in my fleet. I just want to point it out. Now, up until now, I used this cheaper DCS remote commander set, which is found in a lot of MTH starter sets. But this system is much more convenient and much smarter. So it's a great system. I'm really happy with it. Now in this video I want to show you how to add MTH engines into the DCS system. But before I get to that, and before I get to this one, I want to show you how the DCS system is wired up. Now, as you may or may not know, my layout consists of two loops. The outer loop is made of MTH reel tracks, and I'm intentionally using this to run my MTH engines in command mode, which used to be in the remote commander system. And I use the inner loop of Lionel's fast track to run my Lionel engines conventionally. So up until now I used to use just the Lionel transformer itself. This is an 80-watt transformer. So that's about all I want to show you, so let's get started. The wiring starts up with the transformers. One is the Lionel 80-watt transformer, as I showed you earlier, and this is the MTH Z1000 power supply, the 100-watt power supply. And basically these transformers have to be connected to the input side of the TIU. These are for the transformers. And there are 4 channels on both the input and the output sides of the TIU. 2 of them are what they call fixed voltage, and the other 2 are what they call variable voltage. The fixed voltage channels are basically used to run command controlled engines such as DCS engines and TMCC engines. It's intentional for command control. Now the variable voltage channels are used to run conventional engines like this one here. And right now I'm just going to show you how the command controlled system is wired up. I'll get to the variable voltage channel on the next video. So I use this 100-watt power supply to run my MTH engines. And so this goes into the fixed voltage input 1 channel. Now this channel is the most essential part of the channel because it is needed in order for the TIU to work. So you'll notice on the end of this cable that it does not have the banana wires at the end, the banana jack. So MTH sells separately this barrel jack adapter cable, so the banana jacks can be connected to any MTH transformer like this one. And that wiring is pretty easy. It's very easy. Here we are on the output side of the TIU, and the output side is used for powering the track. So now you know the difference. The input side is for the transformers, whereas the output side is for the track. So you'll notice that it has to correspond with the same channel, these wires, and just like the input side of the TIU, the wiring was also very easy. And I just want to point out that the lock-on for the real tracks used to be right there by this 042 curve. But then I had to move this track section to this spot so it can reach to the TIU. So the wires are long enough to reach the TIU itself. So that's about all I can show you for the wiring. Again, I will show you how I wire up the system for the conventional engines on my next video. For this demonstration, I'm going to use my Rail King Norfolk Southern Heritage SD70 Ace Diesel, which is equipped with Protosound 3. And so far, I've already programmed all my other MTH engines into the DCS system, but I have not added this engine yet. So this engine is intentionally left over for tutorial reasons. So the first thing we need to do is to pull up the engine setup feature. So what I'm going to do is to hit the menu button, and then I use the thumb wheel to pick the feature, and then I press it to select it. So I'm going to hit. So in this case, we're in the menu feature. So, and I don't know if you can see it in this video quality, but I'm just going to show it anyway. So I'm gonna hit System, and then I go to Engine Setup. Now we're in the Engine Setup feature. Now, it should be noted that there are two ways of accessing the engine setup feature. So the other way to do it is to go to the engine list. So I'm going to hit this green button for the engine list. I'm going to press it again because it's showing the engine that's currently operating. No, that's not this engine over there. So I'm going to press it again to access the engine list. And you'll notice that there are the soft keys, that's what they're called. And then you'll see there's this one labeled SU for setup. So in this case it's under soft key number 2. So I'm going to hit this, and now it goes to the engine setup. So now I'm ready. So I'm ready to set up. So the next thing we want to do is to add the engine. So I'm going to hit Add Engine. and it gives me two options: add MTH Engine or add TMCC Engine. Well, in this case we want the MTH Engine, so I'm going to hit add MTH Engine, and once I hit this, then DCS will recognize where the engine is located. It will find it. So let's hit that option. Okay, so this engine is finally added to the system, and you'll notice that the name is added to the system. DCS can actually recognize the engine name by using this special system called Smart Read. So the last thing I'm going to do is to start this engine up. So to start this up, I just press the start button, which is number 3. So let's start it up. Let's see this engine in action. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate some of the sound features. So I'm gonna play the horn by pressing this white button, which is WH for whistle or horn. So let's hear the horn.
Alright, check the air pressure.
And let's try the bell. And one of the things I do like about DCS is that I can actually turn the smoke unit on or off if I don't want too much smoke in the basement. So let's see how this works. So if I press the smoke button, which is number 1, it will actually turn the smoke unit. So let's see how this works. Yes, it does turn the smoke unit off. So let's see if I can move this engine. So I throttle up by using the thumb wheel. If I pull it up, it's starting to move. Now I'm going to back it up by pressing the direction button. Now the last thing we're going to do is to shut the engine down, so I do that by pressing the shutdown button, which is number 6. So let's shut it down. One last thing I want to do with this engine is to show you how to change the locomotive address. So to do that, I'm going to hit the engine button to go to the engine list. And with the help of the engine menu, it'll give me sort of a shortcut to the engine setup feature. So I'm going to press the soft key, number 2, for engine setup. So if I want to change its settings, then I have to go to Edit Engine. So I'm going to scroll this to where it says Edit Engine, and then I select it. And there are two options: Edit Name and Edit Address. And what's really nice about the system is that you can rename anything you want for any engine. So, but but I'm happy with the name of the engine, so I'm gonna hit. So in this case, we want to add the address. So I'm gonna hit Edit Address. Now it's asking me to select the engine I want. So we're looking for the SD70, which is number 1 in the system. Now it's asking me which address I want. So I'm probably going to use number 11. And the main reason I want to select a new address is to give the engine a little bit better functionality. So I'm gonna hit number 11, and it says that the old address was 1, but the new address is now 11. So now I'm gonna go back into the engine, and I'm gonna start it up by pressing number 3 and key in the system. So let's see how this works. And so this engine still works. So just want to give you a little demonstration on accessing more features. Here's this one soft key feature, which is under S4 which is number 4. It says SXX for crossing signal. So if I hit that, it will play the appropriate horn sound when it goes to the crossing. So let's see if I can demonstrate it. As you can see, I can access a lot more features than in my older remote commander set. But for now, I'm gonna stop this engine by shutting it down. So I'm gonna press number 6 again to shut it down. There are 3 reasons why I find the DCS system much more reliable. First of all, I wanted to have a little bit more fun. And there are 3 unique features I see in this system. This feature you see here, it says Protocast. And Protocast is a feature that actually plays music into my MTH trains. So what's really nice about it is that I can hook the TIU to any audio source I want, so that I can play music onto my MTH trains. So it basically simulates a radio inside a locomotive. I don't know if locomotives have radios inside. I'm not an expert, so. But other than that, I can actually play music on my MTH engines. And another feature I like is this one called the Doppler feature, and it basically simulates the Doppler effect that you would hear on a railroad crossing. So when you hear the train blowing the horn, in the first place you'll hear the higher pitch, but then as the train passes by the crossing, the horn plays the lower pitch. So the proto-Doppler can actually simulate this Doppler effect. And then the other feature I also like is what they call proto-dispatch. And so you'll notice on the very top of the remote is this little microphone, so I can so I could speak my voice into this microphone and to simulate the dispatcher giving assignments to the engine. So I do that by pressing this button that says mic. I press and hold it, and then I speak my voice through the remote. So that's why I wanted to have a little bit more fun on this system. Secondly, it gives me more flexibility on my layout, especially with this loop of Lionel Fast Track. So my goal was to run not only my MTH engines all in command mode, but also to run Lionel engines still conventionally. And up until now, I used to use only the Lionel transformer, and then I use this remote commander set to run my MTH engine. So they're actually two separate systems. But with the help of with this one variable channel on the DCS system, I can actually run either Lionel or MTH engines on one remote, and more importantly, I can actually run MTH engines and Lionel engines simultaneously on my layout, and it's just as easy if I want to access either the MTH engine or the Lionel engine. Now, I will learn more about running conventional engines on my next video. Lastly, and most importantly, as what the DCS system is intended to do, it can actually access all of the advanced features on any MTH engine I have, and this system is much more functional than this remote commander set. Well, I didn't really have very big problems with this system. It was working okay. But one thing I do remember is that there was one engine that suddenly changed its address as I used this system. I think that happened to me a couple times. This was the SD70 diesel that I've already programmed to the system in this video. And so for some reason, because it changed its address, all of a sudden it couldn't respond to the signals of this remote. So it's some sort of a funky digital problem. I'm not an expert in electronics, but after it was fixed, it finally worked on this system. On the other hand, I am much more convinced about the fact that DCS is a preferred method of running MTH engines. So, with the help of the DCS system, I should expect no funky digital problems like this remote commander set. So I shouldn't have the same problem as ever again. A couple quick concluding notes before I end this video. First of all, before I bought this system, I originally thought about buying a much less expensive system called DCS Commander, which is basically a control panel-like system. But the only disadvantage about it is that it can get rid of the fact that I can still access the locomotive's features while walking or anywhere around my layout. So therefore, I would have to stay in one location to to run my trains with a control panel. So that's why I found out that the DCS remote control system would make much more sense. And then second of all, as many of you already know, as far as smartphone technology goes, MTH is getting into smartphone technology by releasing a special Wi-Fi module that can translate smartphone signals into command signals for the locomotives to run with smartphones. So it's interestingly coincidental that I got into DCS while MTH is getting into smartphone technology. Now in case you're curious, I do not have a smartphone at all. I'm not totally sure about it, but for right now I'm not getting into smartphones yet. So that's about all for this video. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy the first video of my DCS Smooth series. I'm Brian LaRosa, and I'll see you next time.